Hey, hey. Oh my goodness. I'm here. I'm here. I hope you are here too. So, yeah, welcome to our workshop. This is like the first time we've done this, and I'm super, super excited about it. Let me just get the logistics all figured out. Um, and just give me a few minutes while I make sure we're showing up in all the groups. I'm going to be broadcasting in 3 different groups. So this is really exciting. And I want to make sure that we're in all 3. So give me just 1 second while I get everything pulled up. How are you doing? Oh my goodness. If you're here, hi Edna, please say hi and give me a thumbs up or give me hearts so I know that you're here and you can hear me and everything is working out just fine technically wise. So, okay, I see we're there. And then, hi, Michelle. I see, okay, we're in that one. That one's good. And one more. And yay, we're in that one. So we are showing up in all 3. Perfect. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I just checked it too, and it looks like we're in all 3. So that's really, really good. Oh, Thanksgiving's coming, you guys. Are you ready? It just kind of, okay, perfect. Thanks. It just kind of snuck up out of nowhere, right? It's crazy how everything goes so incredibly slow. And then all of a sudden, time just, it flies by. It's nuts. So I was like, we were supposed to do this live last week. I'm like, oh, we have plenty of time. And then I looked at the calendar. I'm like, oh my gosh, next week is the week before Thanksgiving. It's just absolutely crazy town how quick everything goes. So here's the thing. If you comment, then if you don't give permission to StreamYard, I'm not going to see your name and it just says Facebook user. And with me streaming in 3 groups, I can't check to see who's saying what. So if you have a question while we're doing this workshop, please put your name in parentheses unless you already gave StreamYard permission to show your name. Legally, they can't just show it. You have to let them you have to give them permission to show it. And so yeah, if you didn't give them permission, then, and if you ask a question, it's just going to say Facebook user, which is fine. I just like, Michelle, you know what, Michelle, you're in a different group. That's why you're watching from the main group. And I think you have to give permission to each group. That's why it says Facebook user when you comment. But that's awesome you're here because I didn't think Michelle was going to be here. So that's awesome. All right. I love Thanksgiving. I'm telling you, any holiday that revolves around eating and food has a place close to my heart. So since I also love planning and mapping and making schedules and making lists and doing all of those things, it really marries all of my favorite things into one event. Planning, list making, entertaining, and eating. It's quite possibly the most perfect holiday. So I thought that I would jump in here, and I have a free Thanksgiving planner that I pass out every single year. And if you want to get a copy of the planner, I'll be mentioning this again once we start the workshop. But if you want to get a copy of the planner, if you don't have one yet and you want to get it now so you can follow along as we do this workshop, it's declutterinminutes.com/Thanksgiving. That will take you to a sign up page. Just click that image, put in your name and email address, and within a few minutes, that should send you an email with a link for you to get that planner. It looks like this. It's a Thanksgiving planner. It's you're able to set it up in a binder. So what I do is I take my planner and I set it up in a binder, and every year I do a brand new planner and I tuck it inside of my binder. And the reason why I do that is so I have all the previous years. Every year I like to try a new dish and experiment with something added to the menu. And this way I can see my notes on whether or not the dish was a hit, if it was hard to make, if it took too much time, if it wasn't worth the effort. It helps to have previous records when you're mapping things out for a new holiday. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the planner. I like it too, and I made it. This is the planner I used myself. I made this for myself and used it for years and years and years before I started giving it away to the readers on my blog. Okay, so that is basically what this workshop is about. My tips and my process for making it easier on you hosting such a large dinner, because realistically, not very many of us host a meal of this size very often. I mean, we're talking what? Maybe New Year's Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and possibly a birthday or anniversary here and there. More often than not, this might be the only large gathering hosting that you do the entire year. And with you just doing it once a year, it can be a bit overwhelming knowing all the things that you have to do and getting them all done so that you're not running around like a crazy person on Thanksgiving Day as your guests are arriving. So this planner is what I use to help me enjoy the holiday, just like I'm one of the guests. I don't freak out anymore. I'm not sweating when they walk through the door. I'm actually relaxed, laid back, and people are like, "What can I do to help?" I'm like, "Sorry, got it all covered. Just sit there and drink a glass of wine with me." And that's how it's been going for like the last 5 or 6 years. The planner really is quite awesome. And yeah, if you don't have one, I highly encourage you to get one, because best case scenario, it works like a charm. And at least one of the pages inside of there is going to work like a charm. So if you do not have your free Thanksgiving planner, it's declutterinminutes.com/Thanksgiving. Type that in, click on it, sign up, get it delivered to your inbox. If you don't get it before we start the workshop, we're going to start here in just a second. If you don't get it before we start the workshop, this is recorded, so you can always go back and print out the planner and fill it out. Okay, let's get started. So this always takes me a second to do this because I'm going to share a slideshow. There we go. So give me 1 second while we get everything all set up. Boom. Okay, so I have another laptop going so that I can make sure that everything is working technically on my end. And we kind of are ahead by a few seconds, I'm sorry. So I have to wait for it to catch up. So if you are hosting Thanksgiving dinner this year, if you could just give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, say, yes, I am. Let me know how many people you're entertaining. Is it a big group? Is it a small group? I would love to know who's got the big meal plan and who is actually going to be a guest and not the hostess with the mostest this year. So that's always fun for me to see what everybody has planned for the holidays. Okay, so while you're doing that, let's go ahead and get started. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Tracy Lynn, and I am from declutterinminutes.com. I am also your friendly host to this Facebook group. And today we are going to talk about Thanksgiving dinner made easy. When it comes to planning for Thanksgiving dinner, there are 4 main parts you will want to work on: planning, prepping, shopping, and cooking. Now, you're not going to do one and move on to the next, but instead you're going to be jumping back and forth through these 4 sections as you prepare for the dinner and the celebration that comes along with it. Before we dive in, just 1 second, Michelle, I just want to read some comments. So Michelle said she's hosting her mom. It'll just be the 4 of you. That's still a really nice size. Katrina says, same 4 people we always do, just our little family. I love that. And I think that is all the comments we have there. Okay, I have like 3 pages I have to scroll through. Okay, so if you don't have your Thanksgiving planner as of yet, I already talked about this before the slideshow, but I want to remind you that you can go ahead and get yours. Now, I know some of you already have it, and that's awesome. But for the rest of you, go ahead and grab your planner now. So all you need to do is type in declutterinminutes.com/Thanksgiving. And this screen that you see right now should be what pops up. Once you see this screen, go ahead and click that orange bar and then enter in your name and email address. Once you hit enter, your very own Thanksgiving planner will be on its way to your inbox. You may also see a special offer for my Christmas Countdown mini course that you can take advantage of as well. I want to say it's like 60% off, but it's only going to be on sale for a few minutes. So go ahead and grab it at that deal. And we will not only create a Thanksgiving you love, but a Christmas you love as well. Okay, let's dive into the first part of planning a stress-free Thanksgiving dinner, the actual planning. Okay, planning is the secret behind a stress-free dinner. And I know you may be doing a bit of moaning right now because really, who has time for one more thing? But I promise you, this is something that is not only easy for you to do, but it's actually fun as well. Whenever I plan for anything, I always like to start with my master list. So, a master list for Thanksgiving dinner is probably going to include the following parts: a list of things that you need to do. This could be cleaning the house, doing any home improvement projects, rearranging furniture, and maybe setting up tables. Next, you'll want a list of the people you would like to invite to this year's dinner. Then you will want a list of things that you need to make. Now, this is not just food, although that is the main part of this list. You may also want to make place settings for on the table. Maybe you want to make a centerpiece for in the middle of your table or tables this year, or possibly a display, a special display to hold your desserts. Then finally, you will need a list of everything that you need to buy. Okay, I know this is a lot, so let's break it down step by step using the pages that are inside of this Thanksgiving planner. Okay. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I'm just checking questions to make sure we're good. Okay. When prepping for the holidays, you will want to start with what's on the menu because let's face it, this is the heart of the entire day. It's the holiday that centers around a meal, but not just any meal, a meal that is meant to stuff everyone to the brim before they leave the table. This is what the Thanksgiving Day menu page looks like. And you can see there is a space on the right of that page and for any of your guests. And the reason why I have it on the menu is so that you can ask them if they would like to contribute a dish to the meal. Not only is this helpful for you, but it allows your guests to feel more like part of the celebration rather than just an invited guest. I like to fill out my menu first, then do the inviting of my guests after. If they offer to bring a dish that is on my menu already, I simply take a highlighter and I highlight that item on my menu. This is just a reminder to me that I do not have to shop for the ingredients needed to make that dish. If a guest offers to bring something that's not on your menu, you can go ahead and pencil it in, but I would still highlight it. This way, you know everything that's going to be included on your menu and for dinner that day, and it will ensure that you have not only enough serving platters, but also enough room on your buffet table or on the dining room table itself. Next up, we're going to talk about shopping. More specifically, creating a shopping list that will help keep you on budget and on track while you're at the store. I like to do this after I've made my menu because I can then use my menu as a reminder of what I need. I simply go through each item that is on my menu and write down all the ingredients I need to prepare each dish. Even if I know I already have that ingredient, I still write it down. This way, I know for sure that I have everything I need and I do not find myself missing a crucial ingredient on Thanksgiving Day. Once you have your shopping list made, you want to be sure to include any coupons that you have. If you have a coupon for an item on your list, I would just put a little asterisk next to it, then paperclip the coupon behind the actual list. This way, when you're in the store with your list in hand, you have that reminder that this is a deal and you want to remember to give the coupon to the cashier when you check out. Before you head to the stores, you want to shop your pantry and freezer first. Go through your list and see if you already have an item on hand. And if you do, again, use your highlighter to mark it off your list. Don't be tempted to cross it out with a marker or a pen because you need to see all the ingredients when you're at the shopping store. So you don't, or at the store, so you don't forget an ingredient on your list. This way, you know it's written down, you know you have it, and you can move on to the next item. As you're shopping, bring that highlighter with you to the store and mark things off as you put them into your shopping cart. Trust me on this one. Highlight each item as you find it so you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you have purchased every single thing you need to make your Thanksgiving dinner on the big day. There is nothing worse than cooking your meal only to find you're missing a key ingredient. Then you either need to rush to the store and upset your entire schedule by doing so, or find a willing volunteer to go to the store for you. So your best thing to do is to make sure you have a good shopping list and you keep track of everything that you have and everything that you buy as you buy it. Okay, now let's talk about prepping. This is your master list of all the things you need to do before your guests start to arrive. Inside of the Thanksgiving planner, you will find a blank page that you can use to make this master list. To help, you will want to break this list down into sections, or what I like to call mini lists. First, you want a list of everything you need for the table. This could be your centerpiece, place settings, your dishes, napkins, even your serving platters. Next, you will want a list of everything you need to do to prepare for any guests that are coming, like spruce up the guest bathroom or change linens on the guest bed if you have guests that are staying the night, or be sure you have enough seating for everyone at your table or tables. And finally, you will want a list of everything you need to do to get your home in shape for your guests. This can include any cleaning or decluttering, any sprucing up of the kitchen, the family room, the bathroom, and any miscellaneous items such as changing burnt out light bulbs or putting seasonal pillows on your couch. If you're not quite sure of what needs to be done, then you can use my pre-filled checklist to help out. This list is broken down by weeks to help you spread things out a bit and make it easier to get done without freaking out. This is the list that I use myself to be sure I get the main things done at the very least. Things like take a family photo while I have everyone together is what I'm always thankful to have on that list. Okay, I'm going to check. Make sure we don't have any questions, and everybody's so silent. I hope that means you don't have questions. If you do, please ask because I don't mind answering them. Okay, if you're not quite sure of what needs to be done, oh, I already said that, sorry. Don't mind me as I'm getting myself all discombobbled. Okay, next up, hang on one second. And now my slides are out of order. Okay, here we are. Next up, do a week of list. You can do this now or wait until later. I like to wait until later because it allows me to get anything off of my main list like this one and get it onto my week of list. So anything I didn't get done, it allows me to make sure it does get done before my guests arrive. The most important part of a week of list is to make sure that you spread everything out so you don't panic by all the things that need to be done. Another thing is you want to make sure that the week of list gets any of the final touches done, such as food prep or anything that you like to do early. Early food prep is one of my insider secrets because the more I can make before the day, the less I need to worry about on the day itself. Some things you can make early are any appetizers you plan to serve before the meal. Like I like to make mashed potatoes early. You can make these a day early and then put them inside of a crock pot. And then on Thanksgiving Day, get those potatoes out, put them in your crock pot and heat them up about an hour or so before dinner is set to be served. Just like that, your potatoes are all ready to go and you didn't have to make them on Thanksgiving Day. You can also make your pies early. Now, don't worry if you prefer to have pies fresh from the oven on Thanksgiving Day. Go ahead and make them early. Then when your turkey is done and you take it out of the oven, shut the oven off and wait just a few minutes for it to cool down a little bit. Then go ahead and put your pies inside right before you sit down to eat dinner. Then when you're all done eating, your pies will be nice and warm all the way through, just like you took them directly out of the oven. You can also prep any ingredients you will need for dishes you are making on Thanksgiving Day. I like to dice my onions and celery for my stuffing a few days early so it's all done and they're in separate containers. I like to pre-cook bacon that I use for my asparagus dish and my mac and cheese dish. I also like to cut up any vegetables that may be needed for a salad, or fruit if I'm doing a fruit tray. The more you can do before, the less you will have to worry about on Thanksgiving Day. Oh, we all speak discombobulated. Michelle, I am making homemade croissants ahead of time since it's a multi-day process. The pie will be made the day before. See, I love that. I love the idea of making food before. The mashed potato tip, guys, I just learned that probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and it is a game changer because mashed potatoes, let's face it, take forever, especially when you have a big gathering like we do. We make between 10 and 15 pounds of mashed potatoes. So the peeling, the boiling, the mashing, that can take at least an hour, if not 2. Well, 2 if you're counting the cook time. So by doing it a day early, then just sticking it in the container from your crock pot and then put that dish in the fridge. Then on Thanksgiving Day, if you do a big crock pot, you want to start heating it up 2 hours early, but make sure you mix it often because if not, you get this crusty layer around the outside from it heating up. But 2 hours early, heat it on low, and then it'll be ready to eat when it's time for you to cook, to sit down for dinner. Okay, now we are going to plan out cooking for Thanksgiving Day. This planner page is the key ingredient to you feeling more like a guest instead of a frazzled, hot mess in the kitchen. This is called my Thanksgiving Day timeline, and the best way to fill it out is to first start with the time that you actually plan to sit down and eat dinner with your guest. That is your starting point for your countdown timeline planner. And you want to start when you plan, not when you plan to put the dishes on the table, but when you want to actually sit down and start eating. So you want to start there and work your way back from that point. Make sure you have your menu handy so that you know all the dishes that you still have left to be made on Thanksgiving Day. You also want to know an idea on how long the cooking time is for each dish. Again, by knowing how long it takes to make a dish and when you want to have it on the buffet line or the table, however you do it, it lets you know when you need to start it so it's finished on time. Also, don't forget the non-cooking things. This can be anything from setting up a coffee station or making room for parking. The trick is to get everything on the timeline planner that needs to be done before your guests sit down to eat. So you don't have to worry about forgetting anything. All you need to do is follow your timeline planner and just coast through the day. In the Thanksgiving planner, I have 2 different timelines for you to choose from. Use the one that works best for you. Another tip is to make sure you fill out your timeline in pencil. Trust me on this. You are not going to get it right the first time. No matter how many years I've been using this timeline page, I end up erasing the entire sheet at least once, if not twice. If after all the erasing, you find it a bit difficult to read, you can always write it over again in pen. Just go ahead and print out an extra copy of the timeline. That's probably the sheet you're going to want more copies of, just so you make sure you get it exactly right. Stick your timeline in a page protector and put it on the kitchen counter the night before Thanksgiving. Then when you wake up, simply come out, follow your schedule, and I promise it will change everything. Now, another secret to this schedule working, this planner timeline working, is not to forget to schedule time for you. I like to write in time in the morning where I can sit down and enjoy a cup of coffee while watching a bit of the parade. I also like to pencil in time to eat breakfast with my family, even setting time for my shower and getting dressed. Remember, the purpose of the timeline is to make sure you include every single thing that needs to be done. So all you need to do is simply show up and follow along. Once you have everything filled out, all that is left to do is to follow your list and let the magic happen. Now, you can enjoy dinner just like you're one of the guests. You're going to be so relaxed because you know you have everything covered. And you're actually going to enjoy this day because you absolutely deserve it. When I first started hosting Thanksgiving dinner at my home, I used to get myself so worked up that by the time it came for us to sit down and actually eat dinner, I was too stressed to enjoy the meal. I kept jumping up from the table to grab things I forgot. I even remember one year, I actually forgot an entire dish until after we were all done eating and cleaning up. Now that I have my Thanksgiving planner, I am able to sit down, relax, and enjoy the entire day. And now that you have a planner and a plan, you can do that too. Yay! How exciting is that, right? Okay, let me get back to me. Oh my goodness. Let me make sure we didn't miss any questions. And I think we are all good. No questions. Yeah, guys, this is the exact planner that I have used every single Thanksgiving. And I'm telling you, it works. And here's what I do. I usually fill it out and keep it on a clipboard. And my clipboard has all of my pages in it. So I've got my menu. I've got my shopping list. I've already gotten a lot of shopping done. Turkeys are already on sale. I was able to pick mine up yesterday. It was the best deal we have is 39 cents a pound. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but you know what? It's better than the one year, like 3 years ago, it was 79 cents a pound. So I'll take 39 cents a pound. But yeah, you just want to print out every single page. If you don't want to do the cover or the intro, because I do have an intro with the planner, it spells out how to use all the pages. Just so you remember the purpose of those pages, because it's kind of hard to remember exactly what is meant by each page in there. So this way, I have a little intro. So if you want to use this planner for Easter, if you want to use it for Christmas, if you want to use it for a birthday, you can make copies of the pages or print out another planner. And that way you can tweak it to use it for any large family gathering that you have. The key is always to make a list, break it down, do as much as you can early, and then do a timeline for the day of. Now, I know some people are like, yeah, I eat dinner early. I don't know how that timeline is going to work. Well, my timeline, you saw it on the workshop. My timeline is only till 1 o'clock. We eat at 1 o'clock, and I don't start my Thanksgiving dinner till 8 a.m. I start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we all sit down to eat dinner at 1 o'clock. I have time to drink coffee. I have time to go through the Black Friday ads. I have time to watch the parade. I have time to eat breakfast with my family. I have time to enjoy the day. So it's not just crazy running around trying to prep things. It's instead an enjoyable time for me. And I want that to be the same for you. Edna says, I love the idea of using the planner for other holidays. For the first time, I won't be hosting, but I can use it another time. Absolutely. And if you missed where to get your planner, it's at declutterminutes.com/Thanksgiving. The planner is free. You do not have to pay for the Thanksgiving planner. There is an offer for my Christmas Countdown mini course, and you do not have to purchase that, but you should because it's really awesome. But it's just another planner, a little bit bigger than this one. Actually, it's a lot bigger. But that is everything I have for you guys. So if you don't have any questions, oh, hang on. Who said that? Was that Michelle? Oh, my husband gives me a hard time because I use pencil to write out all my to-do lists, right? I don't use pencil to write out my to-do list because I use a highlighter to mark my things off and it smears pencil, but I do use it for my timeline. But yeah, because, you know, sometimes you erase and I don't like sloppy lists. That's another hang up of mine. But all right, guys, if you don't have any questions, I am going to scoot. This video is going to stay in this group so you can watch it anytime you want. If you have any questions and you're not watching this live, it's 1:29 Eastern time on November 13th. So if it's not that time right now, this is not a live video, but you can still ask questions and tag me, Tracy Lynn, and I will answer them for you. There are some fun things in the Holiday Countdown course. Yes, there are some fun things in the Holiday Countdown course. Katrina, you're welcome. Oh yeah, I used to do it the day of, and I'm telling you, it wasn't any fun. And people used to come in and they'd look at me and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone." And I'd be in a bad mood because I was so angry at myself that I saved everything to the last minute. And now that I do everything early and all I'm doing is the main event and I have everything mapped out on my timeline, now when our friends and family show up, I'm drinking coffee. Oh, well, by then I'm drinking a glass of wine and I'm eating hors d'oeuvres with them. And they're not watching me cook a meal. It's awesome. And it really does make a big difference in your holiday. All right, guys, I am going to scoot. I hope you have an amazing day. If I don't talk to you before Thanksgiving, although I probably will, but if I don't, have an amazing Thanksgiving and enjoy your dinner. If you have any tips to share, do them in the comments. I always love to learn something new. Take care, everybody. Bye.